what can I say? I got draxed in this last week's game. So I want to talk about the most dropped players going into week 12. Or is it 13? Hmm. I can't keep up now. I mean, we've had so much football going on from college football to NFL football. So I'm losing count on the weeks. But I want to talk about the most dropped players that if you have them in your lineup, you can go ahead and drop them as well. So first and foremost, Deontay Johnson. I thought it was a big and good thing for him going to the Baltimore Ravens. But as he's been there for, let's say, 3, 4 weeks now, he's not getting it done. He's not the caliber player that I was expecting him to be. He was lights out and amazing when he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now we can go ahead and say we can go ahead and drop him. So he's the most added and most dropped player since going over to the Baltimore Ravens. He is now owned at 72.9% from the week before 86.5%. So basically, he is dipping down, and I believe that he is not going to be a league winner for you. So you can go ahead and just drop him, get rid of him. You don't need him. Jalen McMillan, when Chris Godwin and Mike Evans went down in the same game, Jalen McMillan was one of the players that was supposed to step up. Now I know that the Buccaneers just came off of their week bye. Uh, I don't believe that he's going to actually be able to step into the role that is expected to be stepped in since Chris Godwin is out for the remainder of the season. I know we got Mike Evans coming back. Hopefully his hamstring and his injuries, hopefully he's 100% healed. But with hamstring injuries, I can tell you, you can always pull or tweak it again going back into the games because those fast twitch and slow twitch motions in your legs and your body, yes, you can definitely injure yourself again. Now, Xavier Leggett still is promising. He is still promising. However, there are some issues that we have. Adam Thielen may be coming back. And if Adam Thielen is coming back, then guess what? Xavier Leggett, he was once owned at 47%. He's dropped down to 40%. And we know that that can go down even further because Jalen Coker is also getting the ball thrown his way as well. Plus, we have to think about this. You have Bryce Young back there throwing the football, and I know he's got a win under his belt, but Bryce Young was not and is not getting it done like he needed to, being drafted in I believe the first round, but that's what you get. Uh, of course, Chris Olave. Too many concussions, man. I hope that everything goes well with him because the concussion is serious, especially the concussions that he's having and he's had. I mean, basically, when he's at the age of 40, 50 years old, man, he might be a vegetable. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just keeping it honest and real here. Keon Coleman, disappointment. I mean, there were some high hopes with Amari Cooper going to the Bills, and Keon Coleman had, maybe 1 or 2 games that he performed pretty well, but Keon Coleman is inconsistent. He's inconsistent as all get out. He is now owned at 57.2%, and you don't really need to have him on your team because he's not a league winner. Wan'Dale Robinson. Now, Wan'Dale Robinson, I'm going to give it to you. He does get the ball thrown his way. Now, I know he's not the deep threat. I know that he's the lightweight Khalil Shakur. Khalil Shakur is a better player, but he also has a better quarterback. So we'll see. I know that they did some quarterback changes. Daniel Jones is no longer going to be the quarterback, and DeVito is going to be stepping in. So we'll see what takes place with Wan'Dale Robinson, but at least he gets the ball thrown his way. Demarcus Robinson, uh, Puka's back, Cooper Cup's back, and all we know is Matt Stafford knows how to throw to 2 receivers, really, besides Kyron Williams. He only throws to 2 receivers, and that's all. If the ball is thrown 35 times, it's going to be 17 to Cooper Cup and 18 to Puka Nakua. So there you go. And you might throw in a sprinkle here with Kyron Williams. So you don't need him on your team. Jordan Addison. Now, Jordan Addison had a pretty good game last week. He's an explosive player, but adding T.J. Hawkinson back to the fold, Jordan Addison is a boomer bust player. So you might, if you have him on your team, keep him on your team. The other guys that I've talked about, you might as well go ahead and get rid of them because you're not really going to need them. They're not going to win you the games. They're not going to win you the leagues. And like I said, I didn't have these players last week, but I did get drags. I ain't gonna lie. I got blown out by like almost 80, 90 points. And this is in the PPR league too. Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy, keep him because he had a really good game. Even though the Bills got the win, Xavier Worthy is definitely a player to hang on and keep. Now let's talk about Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert, do not keep him on your lineup. Do not keep him in your lineup. Do not even have him on your roster. He needs to be as a free agent because, as I can say, if you're not CD Lamb, then you don't need to have any other Cowboys fan. Excuse me. You don't need to have any other Cowboys on your team. They're terrible. All I gotta say. I posted a short in regards to the Cowboys no longer being the America's team, and I stand firm to my word. Um, Michael Pittman Jr. Since he got back from injury, since he got back from that week that he did not play, it's just been the Josh Downs show, honestly, and Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce is another one. Michael Pittman, he is basically an afterthought. And this was a receiver that was in the top 25 when it came to the upcoming season, as well as Anthony Richardson being like the number one or number two quarterback during the first before draft started. So you might as well just forget Michael Pittman. I mean, he may have a good game here, but we're getting deep into the playoffs time frame where you need to have players on your team that are going to win you the games, to win you the league, and these guys aren't getting it done. Christian Kirk, goodbye. Um, let's go over here. I know I'm not sharing my screen with you guys, but I just wanted to have a conversation because sharing the screen, all the editing, all that kind of stuff. Like I said, I don't have time to do this like it's a career for me. I do it for fun, and I enjoy doing it. We got Sterling Shepard, same thing. Sterling Shepard, he was once the guy for the Giants that he was the slot receiver that would get the dink and dunks. Sometimes he might get a deep ball thrown to him, but Sterling Shepard, he's just not the type of receiver that you can rely on and be consistent. Adunze, Rome Adunze, same thing. Caleb Williams is hit and miss. Sometimes Caleb Williams has a good game, and then the other times Caleb Williams has a terrible game. And this was a rookie coming into the season where we assumed he was going to be rookie of the year. So you don't need to have Rome Odunze on your team and on your roster. Juju Smith-Schuster, afterthought. Tyler Lockett, afterthought. But let me know. And this is, you see a lot of the receivers that I'm talking about, and I will talk about running backs in the upcoming video. But I wanted to talk about specific receivers because the receivers are the players that are either A, getting hurt, or B, having extremely good games to where you want to keep them in your lineup. Now, the running backs, like I said, I can go on about the running backs, but the receivers are the ones that we have them in multiple positions from the two receivers and the flex position to where we need to know which receivers are going to win us the games because we know that the running backs, we already know the two handfuls of running backs that are going to actually win you the leagues. And like I said, uh, the receivers are the players this year because every year it's different. The receivers and you can say the tight ends are the two that's ending up with you having a loss when it comes to you winning the game. But that's all I'm going to say right now. Go ahead, like and subscribe. Post in the comment section. It doesn't matter who you want to post. You can post quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end, defense, kicker, whatever, who you think is going to be the player to keep dropping in lineups because they're not getting the job done. And once again, I know fantasy sports. This is the football talk, week 12, week 13. I can't keep up, but hey, it is what it is. Go ahead, post your comments, let me know what you think, and I appreciate you hanging tight with me. Peace.